Alright, BB40 here. Doing a video on zombie rush guns. I know it's probably been done 1,000 times, but a friend was curious to see the difference between at least one weapon, the Overseer's staff, which has changed since they first released it. The other guns I have not noticed. High-level weapons, bows and staffs, I haven't noticed any difference. But there's definitely been a difference in the Overseer's staff, and I show that in this video. So I'm working on some of my missions, but in the process I'm going to go through and show you the guns that I use as I was working my way up through the levels, starting with the level 500 gun. Now they've added this to this 10-year update. You can click on any gun and see what kind of damage they do, their fire rate, range, accuracy. And what I highly recommend is you find yourself a gun with a high fire rate. Something, she's a 4, 5, 6, 7, something higher than 1 or 2 anyway. The shotguns and single shotguns, you want to find an automatic weapon if you can. And this one here, this is the first gun, level 500, that was considered an op weapon back in the day. But now it's a lower level gun these days, but still it's a pretty effective weapon. So once you reach level 500, I recommend you use this particular gun. It's very accurate long distance, and you can see it's taking out a lot of the zombies here. It's just a single shot though, you have to keep clicking your mouse button. But it's strong, relatively strong, and very accurate over long distance. So this was a decent gun to use, a Reaper's Void. Next one I went to was the blast gun. I just skipped over the others because they just weren't very effective. A lot of them had short range firing, or fire rate was low. You can see this blast gun has a fire rate of 8, and you can see how much quicker I could shoot it. And it was also a very effective gun. Once you get to this level, you can use this particular gun. I recommend this one over a lot of the others. It's got a long distance range accuracy and a quick fire rate and relatively strong. So it's a decent weapon to use for, and I think I used it for several levels. But now the dark matter pistol is the next one that I recommend. So you just keep using that blast gun until you get up to the dark matter pistol. This is another good gun. You see it has a good amount of damage, fast fire rate, pretty accurate over long distance. And here I'm just finishing up with the ice cannon, which I did not like. I'm just showing the pattern isn't really tight compared to some guns, but it's fairly accurate over a long distance. So, and here a friend of mine popped in. I was using her private server. This is a wild card, a friend of mine. I've been friends with her for, gosh, probably 4 years. So, what's funny, I'll show you later on. I'm kind of amazed to see some of the animations they have for avatars now. I tried to make this video with another friend earlier, and I show in the end, actually, I go over the melee weapons at the end of this video to show which ones are the best. So you can check that out toward the end if you're interested in melee weapons. And my other friend, Adore, was really busting a move. I was just surprised at the animations they have these days. So now the blue minigun, not a very good range damage, but the fire rate is extremely fast, but the accuracy is really bad, and the distance is really bad. I mean, it's a scatter gun. It's for what they call a close-in weapon system, a CWIS. It's the type of gun you want to use when the zombies are close to you. As you can see, it's just a single stream that comes out of this minigun. And it's very sporadic. It just scatters all over the place. So you can't really shoot zombies very far away. This gun here, the Spitter, was one of my favorite guns for a long time. Because of the long reach that it has, you can shoot zombies through walls without the zombies hitting you. You could poke it through the wall and stand away and not have to worry about the zombies killing you like through windows and stuff. But and it's very accurate over long distance. It's strong, accurate, and has a very long range. The Spitter is a pretty good gun. And now we're up to like level 950, I believe. And the next one you're going to get is the blow dryer level 1000, which not as accurate over longest, doesn't have as long of a range as the Spitter, but it is stronger. It is a good strong gun, the blow dryer is. And actually, I did a video before comparing the blow dryer with the SMGs and the paint gun. The paint gun came out on top, and then the SMGs, and then the blow dryer was third. And what I used as a test was shooting zombies in the space knocks, shooting down to see which one could keep the zombies under control for the longest. And after a while, the paint gun the paint gun beat the others. The SMGs and the blow dryer just could not keep the zombies from jumping up and getting me on the top level. But the paint gun was able to get the zombies under control and keep them from jumping up. So if anybody's wondering, if you want to see proof of which gun's the best, in my opinion, based on a test that I did, I'll try to put the video in the comments below. You can check it out. The paint gun came out on top. It just beat out the SMGs. Even though the SMGs are rated with a higher strength than the paint gun or the blow dryer, they just, because of their limited range, they just could not keep the zombies under control enough. So now we're going to look at some of the first crossbow, the 8-bit crossbow. Now this crossbow is strong, but it has a very slow fire rate. And you have to keep, clicking your mouse button. As you can see, it doesn't fire very quickly. It has a fairly tight pattern there, shooting against the wall, so it's accurate over long distance. But because it's such a slow fire rate, it's hard to shoot zombies that you're aiming at because they move before you get a chance to shoot. And now the paint gun. 3200 damage, very good. Fire rate pretty quick. The range, I say, is not accurate. It does have a long range. One of the longest range guns. Not as long as the Spitter. It's certainly not as long as the Staff, but it does have a pretty good range. And here's my friend Tara, came over here to join me on this side. Now look, I'm shooting the paint gun, she's shooting SMGs. And you see which one comes out on top to kill that zombie. You see the paint gun that I'm shooting really blew away the SMGs and killing that boss zombie. So there's proof right there that proves to you that the paint gun is stronger than SMGs, at least at distances. If you're talking about being close up, it's like another CWIS gun, a close-in weapon system. The SMGs can do a lot of good crowd control up close, but the paint gun beats it overall, in my opinion. Now here's the Dark Age crossbow, which is actually a pretty darn good crossbow. The fire rate's a little faster than the 8-bit, and it does have a very long range, although that's not really represented in the numbers you see. But it's pretty accurate over a very long distance. And it's pretty much one-shotting these zombies down here. So this is a fun crossbow to use. And you can see I could shoot it fairly fast. It has a really tight pattern, so it's very accurate over long distance. But again, a lot of these crossbows, since you have to keep clicking your mouse, it makes it harder to hit your target and aim off at long distance. Now I'm just going to skip over to the staff. It's still my #1 weapon. And you can see I'm level 18,600. I've got to test a lot of these weapons, a lot of these guns and crossbows over time. And I still always fall back to the staff. If I'm shooting long distance, staff is #1 in my choice. If it's getting closer, like if you're doing zombie training or zombie seeking, paint gun or SMGs, I tend to go with the paint gun more often. Now here's something I did not like about the staff, what they did with this latest update. They gave it this big ball of glow that just obstructs your view, which I'm not happy about at all. I'm going to show a little clip of what it looked like just before this update. This is what it used to look like, which was much more, to me, much more impressive and much less intrusive. Didn't block your view nearly as much as it does now. So, developers, if you watch this video, go back to the old staff. The new one is just not user-friendly. I mean, look at that big ball of glow that it creates that just gets in your way and blocks your view. It's just I'm not happy with. But still the op weapon, still the best one in my opinion of all the weapons that they've offered so far. And what's interesting, what I'm going to show when I get to the Overseer is that they do have the option of modifying these weapons to be stronger if they want, or be more accurate if they want to. Because they did that with the Overseer staff. They made it so that it shoots faster than it did before, and I'm going to show that here soon. And there was a time when the SMGs were twice as strong as they are now. If you notice when you fire SMGs, they only have 2 streams of bullets, one from each gun. There was a time where the SMGs had 4 streams. One of the guns was shooting 3 streams and the other one was shooting 1, so you had a total of 4 streams, and they were twice as strong as they are now. And then he went and nerfed them again, put them back to where they were before. But as a suggestion, I've made some other suggestions of what would be, possible good game passes, is offer a game pass that would double the strength of your weapons. I think that's a game pass I would buy. If they're looking for ways to make money and bring more attention to the game and make it more fun, offer a game pass. If you buy the game pass, you automatically, your guns, just like a double XP, double experience. Why not make a double strength? Double damage game pass would be nice. Now here's I was just going over the C-bow, which wasn't very good. It shoots 3 arrows at a time, and they shoot out in a spread, but they don't have very good distance to them. That really hasn't changed with the crossbow of the sea. But this ornate golden bow is really the best bow of them all. It shoots really fast, and it has a rapid fire rate. It's very, very accurate over long distance. If I were to choose any kind of bow, I would go with that ornate golden bow. Now we're going to look at the steampunk next. The steampunk, even though it's shown as being stronger by the numbers, it doesn't shoot as fast as this ornate bow. So in a pinch, if you got a horde of zombies coming at you, you want something that's going to shoot as fast as they can and take them down as quick as they can. Otherwise, you're going to be dead because you can't kill them all quick enough because the gun doesn't fire fast enough. That's one of the reasons I'll choose the Crossbow staff over any of the other staffs. It's because its fire rate is quicker than any other staff. It's faster than the ornate, faster than the Overseer. So now we're going to look at the Overseer, and I'm going to show you some clips of it, how it works now compared to what it used to look like, how it used to shoot. And you'll see the difference in the fire rate. If right now it's saying the fire rate is 3, the Crossbow staff is 4. So the Crossbow does shoot faster. And Crossbow is, by the numbers it's not as strong, but it's really strong enough that it's a Crossbow, in my opinion, just beats out the Overseer. Well, they might be kind of neck and neck. But to me, fire rate, speed at which you can shoot is more important than just overall strength. Because the Crossbow is strong enough to take out pretty much any zombie. Maybe not in the first shot, but just 3 or 4 shots. I think the worst would be the Wraith Brute. I think it takes maybe 7 or 8 shots to take down a Wraith. Well, it depends on what wave you're at too, because when you get to higher waves, the zombies are stronger, and it takes more shots as you go in higher and higher waves. But I'm running out of zombies. So I've got to go clean out the back stairwell because all the zombies are getting stuck back there. And if I don't get enough zombies to kill, I'll run out of time. And you see all the zombies that get stuck in here. And it's not just down here. You know, if the developers want to modify this map anymore, the best thing they could do is make the doorways just a little bit bigger, so the brutes don't get all stuck in there. And plus, help with the change something about the map to allow the zombies to go with the new tracking system and find their way out, which they're having trouble doing. So this is the overseer. It kind of popped up in the middle of my run over here to clean out the back stairwell. And you can't really tell how it's shooting right now, but you'll see in a minute when I get back in my little perch over here. I'll show you some an example of how it shoots now compared to how it used to shoot. It is faster now than it was, but still not as fast as the core block staff. The rate of fire is just not quite as fast. And here's what it used to be like. I think it used to be rated at about a 2, and now it's a 3. But you can see how it is slower in the past. This is when they first released this this staff, and I did a video on it. All these new weapons that came out. I think it was back in about June of 2022 is when they introduced these high-level weapons. And I did a video. You can see now it is shooting faster. Much faster. Well, about 50% faster than it was before. So now it's a fire rate is considered to be a 3, and I think it used to be a 2, probably. You can see right there, it was a 3. Well, it is a 3 now. Now we're going to look at the SMGs. The show, of course, has an extremely fast fire rate. The range is not 900. The SMGs have very poor range, but high damage. You see them, some of these zombies are aiming right at them and they're just not going down. It's very hard to hit past a certain distance. And you see how wide of a pattern it is for the shots. And the further away the zombies are, the wider the spread is. So SMGs are great for zombies that are close up, but not very good for zombies that are off at a distance. If you want to shoot off at a distance, go with the paint gun or one of the staffs, either the core blocks or the overseer, if you're high enough to have those weapons. If you haven't made it to level 1500 yet and you can't get the paint gun, then if you want to buy the SMGs, you can do that. But the paint gun's still a better gun. And I will put that link in the description below the comments, so you guys can check out that video comparison that I did before. And none of them has changed in strength. The only difference with the paint gun now is that you get these drops of paint that fall off the end of the gun that were not there before. It's just another addition that they incorporated into the game. You get this paint splatter coming out of the end of the barrel. Now this is that mystical staff that really not very good at all. It has a very wide pattern, as you can see. It's not very accurate over distance, and you have to keep clicking the button. You can't just hold your button and have it continuously fire. Even though they may rate it as having more strength than the core blocks, it's not nearly as good because it's very inaccurate over distance, and it's not an automatic weapon like the core blocks is. So that's pretty much my rundown of the available guns that you can get in the game for free anyway. Besides the SMG, you have to pay for that one. I think it's 22,000 Robux if you want to get the SMGs. I had a good friend at the time, and he gave it to me for my birthday one year. He said, "Steve, you need to have the SMGs." So he gave them to me. Or gave me the Robux, or the money to buy the Robux to buy them. But I use them occasionally. If I'm in a map that's kind of smaller, maybe like the Volcano Lab, I'll pull out the SMGs maybe instead of the paint gun, because the map's not very big and the SMGs are very effective at close range. But in longer range shooting like this, I would go with the paint gun over the SMGs. Now I'm back with the staff, which has a fire rate rated at 4, a little bit faster than the Overseer. But the Overseer is stronger, so it's kind of a wash between which one you think is the best gun now, or the best weapon to use. So I'm going to take you to another map where I was in a game with my friend Adore, and I'm going to look at the melee weapons. And the surprise of all of this is that the level 1 wrench is stronger than all the others. As you go up, you'll see that a lot of these weapons get weaker. See, the wrench is 346.5 damage. The frying pan was a little bit lower, like 344 or something. 346 for the wrench. This axe is the only one that's stronger. Out of all these different melee weapons that you see in the list, the axe is the only weapon that is stronger than the wrench, until you get up to the level 10,000 sword. That's the only other weapon that you can get for free that is stronger than the wrench. All these other ones, the chainsaw, the baseball bat, all these epic swords and hammers and ice hammers, they're weak. They're very slow swing rate. The little crescent wrench not only is stronger than them, but it has a quicker swing rate. You see, it's all the way up at 2.2 swing rate. So, I mean, if I even did another video on a little wrench challenge to see if you could survive 50 waves just using the wrench, which I was able to do just using the wrench because it is one of the strongest melee weapons in the game. And if I ever want to just mess around and have fun with just a wrench, a melee weapon, I'll use the wrench. Now look, this is a level 1000 sword is weaker than the wrench. It's only 300 compared to 346. Even this level 2500 energy sword is weaker than the number 1 wrench. The level 1 wrench is still stronger. It's at 346 and has a faster swing rate. Now knockback is how far back you can knock a zombie, but I don't understand critical hit, what that means, what it represents. But these swords do have a higher critical hit, but the damage is less. Even this sword here, a Ghost Walker level 5000 sword, is weaker than the wrench. The only one that gets stronger is this one here, besides that axe. The Noir Peristron Scythe. The level 10,000, you're going to make it to level 10,000 to get yourself a melee weapon that's stronger than, what was the axe, level 100? I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, even these, there are some swords in some of these packs that are stronger if you want to spend the money. Like I bought the regen pack and the speed coil pack, and you get swords with those, but most of those are weaker. So now I'm looking at this sword's stronger, but it's a secondary pack number 3. Another sword that's stronger. This one's not stronger. That's the secondary pack 4. And it's still weaker than the wrench. And they're weaker than the pack 3. So if you want to buy a secondary pack, get pack 3 instead of pack 4. It's better. Looking at some other weapons, I think this is a pop onto pack 5. It's still pack 4. That was a little bit stronger than the wrench, the level 1 wrench. Here's a pack 5, and these, I think, all of these might be stronger than that level 1 wrench. Nope, that one's weaker. That's a pack 5, and it's weaker than the wrench. So these weapons, these melee weapons, are mostly just for looks. If you want to get something that's effective with a fast swing rate and will kill the zombies, just stick with your level 1 wrench. It'll do the job. Don't spend the money on these packs. They're not much better. The only other one I got here, there's 2 other swords that I recommend. This Christmas sword is pretty much stronger than the wrench. And I've used it a few times. It's fun to work with, fun to play with. And the old Hallows sword, the pumpkin sword that came out in I think it was a Thanksgiving or Halloween update a couple of years ago. All Hallows sword. Even the Ghost Theory is just barely stronger than the wrench. If you look at the damage and the swing rate, just a little bit stronger than the wrench, the level 1 wrench. And here's your All Hallows sword. And I did a video on this when it first came out, and I really trashed this sword because it was so incredibly weak. It would take 3 or 4 shots to kill a normal zombie at wave 1. That's how weak the pumpkin sword used to be. So they must have watched my video and beefed it up. And they beefed it up quite a bit, and I'm happy with that, because now it's a respectable weapon to use, the old Ghost Theory. Not the Ghost Theory, I'm sorry, the Hallows sword, old Hallows sword. The pumpkin sword. Now here's what I was talking about. This is my friend the door, just busting a move here. I didn't realize they came out with such animations now. And my friend, if you notice, Tara, she was actually levitating, and Adore did it too. She got the levitation also. And here's the funny thing. I'm using the Overseer, and she used the Crow blocks, and they came out about dead even as far as kill strength. How much we both were shooting at that boss for about the same length of time. So they're basically even right now as far as strength. So, but anyway, I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I hope it was informative. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And check out the comments in my description. I'll have some video links in there. Thank you. Bye.